Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everyone. This is Topsy Gifts, and I'm here in Ternopil, Ukraine. So, who is joining me? Who is joining me today? Let's continue from where we stopped. Sorry, I was not able to come live on Facebook yesterday. We started this topic a day before yesterday, but I wasn't able to come live yesterday. Hello, Mastella. Ike, thank you so much for joining. You're the first today. Thank you for joining. Please, as you come in, help me share the video. Help me share the video and invite your friends. Let's continue from where we stopped. Hello, Hariam Singh. Thank you for joining. God bless you. Please help me share the video. Share. Share, please. And I hope today is going to be a blessing as usual, as it has always been. All right, so I would beg you to share the video, inbox it to your friends, share on groups, and and let's share minds today. Let's build our minds together. Hello, Sir Diamond Ranting. Thank you for joining. God bless you. Please help me share the video. Help me share the video and invite your friends. I believe today is going to be as powerful as usual. Hello, Mamede Orenuga. Thank you for joining. God bless you. Help me share the video. And invite your friends. My husband does join. Clemsy Clement. Thank you so much, sir, for joining. God bless you. Please, as you come in, help me share the video and invite your friends. All right. Hello, Belel Suleiman. Thank you for joining. God bless you. Help me share the video. And invite your friends. Okay. I don't know, for those of you who did not watch the video, the one I did, the part one of this topic I did. Hello, Mastella. Thank you so much, Ma, for joining. God bless you. Please, as you come in, help me share, guys. Share the video, share to groups, inbox it to your friends, and all of that, and we'll be ready to go. So I did a part one of this video of this topic. I think that was 2 days ago, and it was a blessing, and I beg those of you who did not watch it to watch it. I believe you're going to be blessed. In that part one, I reviewed some of the reasons why I'm actually talking about this form of abuse in human life. This form of abuse is it's so devilish, it's so dangerous, something that I have experienced as a child, and I watched my mother suffer as a woman. So I decided to say no to domestic abuse, no to domestic violence against women or against men or whoever. But my mother went through it. It was hell for us. Hello, Sarkofipa. Thank you for joining. God bless you. So, talking about domestic abuse or domestic violence, it's a national thing. It's a global thing. Both the civilized and uncivilized actually practice this domestic violence. Though light has come, light had illumination, and people are beginning to speak up. People are beginning to say no to the things that usually used to be generally acceptable, or usually used to be the norm. People are not saying no to it. Everybody is saying, no, don't do that. It is wrong, because we are all made in the image and likeness of God. So why should a man or a woman or a human, treat another like a slave? Okay, so it is so wrong. It is so wrong, and we are saying no to it. Hello, Machinwe. Thank you so much for joining. God bless you. So it is so wrong. Okay, I told you guys in part one how that my father used to be really brutal. He really used to be crazy. Machi will say waiting I miss. You've not missed a lot because we just started, but you missed the part 1. Hello, Satokwe Tosin. Thank you for joining. God bless you. So you missed the part 1, and that part 1 was fire. It was fire because I really reviewed a lot that I went through as a child, and my mother went through. How that she was almost burnt alive. My father was going to set her ablaze, all because of anger, and and nobody was seeing anything wrong with it because it's like normal, right? Hello, Mabingbe Akintola, thank you for joining. Hello, Mike, thank you so much, sir, for joining. God bless you. Please, as you come in, help me share this video. Help me share the video and invite your friends. So, talking about domestic violence or domestic abuse, it's crazy, It's a national thing, like I said, it's a global thing. It happens both within the elites and non-elites. A lot of people practice this evil called domestic abuse, and just of recent, people started speaking up about this evil, melted out to humans. Okay, so before it was almost a norm. People, women had to endure domestic abuse and violence in their husband's house, or guys who are dating their girlfriends melt out this anger and this pain on these girls, and they cannot speak up because they are being intimidated, or they are afraid that sometimes their life is involved. The man had to threaten them: if you say anything, you're gonna die. Sometimes again, the man had to engage them in blood covenants such that they will be so afraid to say anything. It's like if you say anything, you're going to lose your life, you're going to die, and they're afraid to leave the relationship because if they feel like, if I leave the relationship, I'm going to die, because the relationship has to do with blood covenants. So, hello, Ma. I think I saw. Okay, thank you so much, Ma Olayinka. Thank you so much for joining. God bless you. Hello, Sayomi Jegede. Thank you so much for joining. God bless you. Please, as you come in, help me share the video. And invite your friends. So we are talking about why you must say no to domestic abuse or domestic violence. Yes, the 2 days ago when I started this topic, I was talking on behalf of both men and women, because there are some men who also who pass through domestic abuse, but though the high rate is on the women's side. So I was just before I said that, I was saying that some women are afraid to get out of this so-called relationship, because some of them have been lied to that there's blood covenants in this relationship, so if you leave, you lose your life, or something happens to you, and all that. Somebody is saying, Topsy, I can't see your face. Did you set it that way? It's just green. Are you serious? Please, can anybody see me? Oh my God. But on my screen, I can see myself on my laptop, because I'm actually using my laptop to play it. Please, can anybody see me? I don't know if it's Marstella's device. Can anybody see me? Please, if you can see me, help me type that you can see me, because my Ike is saying, Topsy, I can't see your face. Did you set it that way? It's just green. My Olayinka say, I can see you. Very clear. Sayomi Jagede say, very clear. My husband say, we can see you. Okay. Okay, I think, okay, maybe Marstella, you need to refresh your device. Maybe that's why you're not seeing me. Maybe it's network or something. Okay, so let's continue. So that's how people get into some lies about their relationship, and they are so intimidated, they're afraid of leaving that relationship because of either what they get or the covenant they've gotten into, and they're afraid to say no, I don't want again, or I want a divorce. Hello, Chris Berry, thank you for joining. Hello, Ma Abigail, thank you for joining. Hello, Ma Justice, thank you so much for joining. Please, as you come in, help me share the video, and invite your friends. So some women are just in that abusive relationship because the man is so wealthy and they are getting a lot of money, or some flimsy things from this man, and but they are being abused, but so they are afraid of leaving the relationship, or they are under threat. The man is saying, if you ever file a divorce, I'm going to wipe the whole of your generation, because he's well politically connected or whatever connected. So some women are afraid to speak up or to even tell anyone about the abuse that it's happening to them. It's happening in that marriage. So today I told you guys 2 days ago that there are different types of abuse, or different areas or ways people abuse others. Just before I go into today's topic, just like we usually do, I would like to do like a recap of what we previously did the other time. When we talked about the first when we looked at this topic, let's look at the first part of it that we did. And I told you guys why that we must say no to abuse, why we must say no to abuse. And one of the reasons I said why we must say no to abuse is because we are all made in God's image and likeness, and everybody has something to offer. Everybody's blessed by God. Everybody's a personality. We all have all it takes in our various areas to bless the world, to bless the nation, to make the life better for everyone on earth. So nobody came to the world empty. Everybody's blessed and endowed, and so that is why nobody should take us for granted. Nobody should abuse anybody, because we are all made in the image and likeness of God. So we are so full of God's wisdom. We're so full of God's ability. We have everything it takes to transform a nation. So nobody has the right to inflict pain in another. All right. So that's one of the things we talked about. The reasons why you must not try to harm another. Okay. So we also talked about how that what people should expect when it comes to before you say no, before you say yes to a man getting married to a man, how you should know the man, why is it important for you to know this man. And because so many men are just wolves in sheep clothing, and some of them are alcoholics, some of them are having issues with drugs, some of them have psychological issues. So if you really do not understand these people, you are going to become their victims, and you're going to become a victim of pain tomorrow. So it is so important that you understand who you want to get married to, because you might not understand what you are actually going into, because some men are terrible. They are sick. They are psycho sick. So they are looking for who to use as a scapegoat. and we don't want all that, right? We don't want all that. Hello, Ivoke Chika, thank you for joining. Hello, Ma Idaranwa, thank you for joining. Hello, Ma Mabel, thank you so much for joining. God bless you. So those are the few things we discussed. That was 2 days ago. All right. So today there are some types of domestic abuse, and one of which is coercive abuse. Now we have financial abuse and other type of abuse, but today we are going to be dealing with coercive abuse. So looking at coercive abuse, has to do with physical. When we talk about coercive abuse, we look at the physical human, the physical acts, such that when we talk about humans being treated like, you're gonna see the marks on their body. So it's not emotional. It's not emotional pain. It's a physical pain that you can see. You can see, but but under physical, under coercive, we still have stagnation, but such you cannot see pain because strangulation rather, you can't see pain because the man used his hand to strangle you as a woman, or he used the material to, you know, press your organs, your nose that you use in breathing, and you couldn't breathe for a few minutes or few seconds and you died. So there's no trace of your death. So but it's still under coercive abuse. But you know, that's like the one of the biggest issue when it comes to, you know, physical, and when it comes to coercive abuse. That's like the one of the biggest problem because it's not traceable. Hello ma, it's Dr. Ides Charles. Thank you so much for joining. God bless you, ma. So it's a very big problem because it's not traceable. Nobody can trace strangulation. Nobody can trace the fact that this person died out of, you know, strangulation. So I was telling you guys yesterday how that my father constantly tells my mother, I will kill you, I will kill you, this woman, I will kill you. So what I did that with my elder sisters, I told my mother, you are no longer sleeping with that man. You are not going to his room anymore to go sleep. You will sleep in our own room. So because I believe that, you know, she could be sleeping in the night and the man will press her with a pillow and she would die. And when we wake up tomorrow morning, the next morning, he will tell us that, oh, she slept and never woke up, right? Because, of course, there is no trace of the fact that he actually killed her. There is no evidence that he killed her with his bare hands. So as long as there is no trace, it means there is no case, right? You can't sue anybody. You can't say he actually did it because there is no evidence. Nobody will believe you when you say, oh, my father killed my mother, but no evidence. What's the proof that he killed your mother, right? So that when he started threatening her, saying, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to kill you, we told that woman, mother, you don't have to stay with this man any longer. See, it does not matter. It does not matter what people would say. Your life is more important to us than anything you have to gain from this man. Okay, so we as children, we make sure that she stopped sleeping in his room just so we could save her life. You know, that my mother is alive today, I am very sure that God is involved, one, and wisdom was also involved. Okay, so we had to take that stand in order to save her life. So when we looked at coercive abuse, we could see bruises, we could look at injuries, we could see bruises, we could see acid attack, we could see the brides or grooms being burnt alive, we could see homicide, you know, strangulations and all of that. We're going to talk about today under coercive abuse, So now, under coercive abuse, some partners can go as far as, you know, denying their partners medical care. There was this I think either he's president. No, I don't think he's a president. I think he's a governor. So in one of these African countries, I was watching Adiola's news. I don't know how most of you, if any of you know this lady called Adiola. She was working with Sahara News before she left Sahara News. Now she's on her own. Now there was a news I was listening when she broadcasted the news. She was talking about a governor or so that was having HIV, but the wife does not know that he was HIV/AIDS. So what happened? She was infected because she was sleeping with the husband. So she was infected, and the man did not want her to know that she had AIDS, HIV/AIDS. So what happened? The man was always, giving her medication, but he had to connive with a doctor to be giving her all kind of medication and all that. So she never got to know what she was actually taking and why she was taking all that. She only knew that she was sick, but she said she never knew what was actually wrong with her. Okay, so the doctor kept lying to her and saying, oh woman, this is wrong with you, that is wrong with you. And according to the daughter, she said that the mother kept losing blood, and a lot of things kept happening to her. She kept growing slim and all that. So sometimes she's healthy, sometimes she's not healthy, she's always having health challenge. So but they never got to know exactly what happened, what is happening with the woman. So the husband kept bribing and paying a particular doctor, to keep giving her medication, until at a time she got upset, and she probably went to another doctor and did a test and got to know that she was HIV positive. And when she confronted her husband and saying, I never sleep out, and I'm sure I was not the one who got this HIV. I want to be sure how I got HIV. And she confronted the husband. She was so angry, and she demanded that the both of them go to the hospital for a checkup, for a test. And the man was refusing. They got into argument, they got violent, and the man beat her, had to the extent that she was soaked in her own blood. The daughter said she came to the room and saw her mother soaked in her own blood, and she called an ambulance, and they rushed her to the hospital. So when the woman regained consciousness, they got to know that it was because of the argument of the fact that I wasn't HIV positive. I don't know how I got HIV, and how, let's go for a test and all that. And it got violent, and the man had to do all that to her. So why am I talking about this? I'm saying this because most women have been taken for granted. Most women have been really, 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 treated like slaves, like slaves. Okay, so this man feels like, I have money, I have all it takes to just do what I want and walk away from it. Now, though he was giving her medication, but he denied her the truth. He denied her the truth that he had a problem, and instead of even, okay, let's say for example, he even knew that he was HIV positive. Instead of him letting the wife know that, okay, I've been denying you sex all this while because I was HIV positive, I got it by mistake or whatever, but he still slept with the woman just so that he can cover up his wrong, he can cover up his evil, so that he will transfer the loss, the problem or the cause, or tell the woman she's the one that, you are the one that gave me the problem, you're the one that gave me the disease, right? So he wanted to shift the blame to the woman, and that was why he never told her that, oh, I got HIV, or I got some diseases or whatever. So that was how she almost lost her life, though she left the relationship. But what happened? How did the world get to know about it? The world got to know about it because it was at the day he was to wed another woman, the day he was to say yes I do to another woman, that the woman came up and started insulting the man, and the news took the whole story, and they got to know that the man was actually HIV positive. So he was going to wed another woman with the same with the same wickedness, not for this woman not knowing that he is sick. Okay, so some partners actually go as far as denying their partner medical care. They go as far as denying their partner medical care. When they needed medical care, they will look for a way to subject that woman from not getting the actual medication that she deserved to get. I know there are so many women in Africa today, even those that are not in Africa, that they are sick. But you know what happened? Their husband is controlling. When we talk about abuse is not just physical all the time. Sometimes it's also controlling. The fact that your husband, is so controlling, such that you don't have a say in your relationship, you don't have a say in your home, in your marriage, that is an abuse. That's already a form of abuse. So that woman does not have the right to get good medical attention or medical care, because the husband is telling her what to do and what not to do. So the husband tells her what the limit of medication she should get, or what she should get, or the type she should get, or when to get it and when not to get it. So all of that are abuse. So that woman was subjected because the man was an abusive, partner. He was an abusive and a controlling partner. These people tend to degrade you, intimidate you, make life miserable and hell for you, because they think that they are the head of the family and you are beneath them. You owe them every responsibility of listening to them, or and saying what and doing what they say. So it is crazy. It is so crazy, because this human being you see that is called your wife, it has rights. She has right to everything you think you have right to. If you think you have right to good health, she as well has right to good health. If you think you have right to good meals, she as well have right to good meals. Have you seen scenarios whereby husbands hit their wives because the woman can neither prepare good meals, or peradventure the woman made mistake and oversalted the food, or she put too much of pepper in the food, and all she gets is brutality, serious beating. The man had to beat her blue black, had to beat the hell out of her, all because she made a simple mistake, all because she did something that that the man didn't like. So why would you have to hit her? Why would you have to? How did hitting her become a form of correction? How did hitting a woman become a form of correction, for God's sake? If for every mistakes we do as human, God himself, who is our creator, had to hit us, had to spank us for every single mistake we do, I don't think you and I will still be among the living today. Because you know what? We drink iniquity like water. We drink iniquity like water. We make mistakes like water. Before 24 hours elapse in every day of our lives, there are too many mistakes we do, too many wickedness that the heart of man carries out there. So if God has to treat us according to the way we fall into sin, or we do things, none of us will be able to stand and say, oh, I'm the righteous one here, or I'm the one who was not able to fault the law, so I kept all the laws. All right, so as long as you and I still offend God, you and I are falling day and night, so, and God is having to forgive us. So you should know that the same thing God is doing to you as the head of the family is the same love you should extend to your spouse, the same love you should extend to your wife. So if you can receive forgiveness when you do not deserve it, it's the same you should extend to your wife. So if she made a mistake, the same love you should extend to her. Have you seen scenarios where a woman was ironing her husband's clothes and mistakenly the clothes got burnt? The man is going to burn her with the same iron, with the same hot iron. The man gets to burn the wife, all because the wife made a mistake, all because the woman mistakenly burnt one of his best clothes, or mistakenly burnt one of his clothes. For God's sake, how much is clothes sold in the market that is worth burning her body, that is worth burning her what inflicting injury on her? So isn't that wickedness? Isn't that wickedness from the pit of hell? So if God will burn you with iron for every mistake you make, I'm not sure there's any part of your body that would have remained clean and clear, such that people would be proud to behold, right? So if God can forgive any of us, if we know that we are not perfect people, why don't we also treat others? Why don't we treat our partners as people who are, who have everything it takes to also make mistakes, for God's sake? So it is crazy. I've seen marriages divorce, and gone violent, all because the bride and the groom came back the same. After Saturday wedding, the bride and the groom went home, all to discover that there is no food in the house, or maybe, for example, the food that is in the house is just the food from the party, right? Because in some events they had to send some food to the groom's house for them to eat after party. So the man gets to the house, the woman got to the house, oh, they're happy married, right? or to see that the man wants to eat pounded yam in the middle of that stress. I mean, for you to do, you know how Africans do our, you know how we do our weddings now. You go to church in the morning as early as maybe, let's say, 10 a.m. before you close from that party to go for reception. The woman will be tired dancing, attending to everybody and all that. The man would want to demand her to cook pounded yam that night, to make her to start looking for cassava to make fufu or something. And the woman, I can't eat rice, or I can't eat spaghetti, or I can't eat Indo noodles, or I can't do this, it's for children, those are childish food. I want you to make. The woman is saying, I am tired. Are you not tired even yourself? Because I expected you to be tired, right? So how can you be asking me to make pounded yam for you in the middle of this night? And again, we just came out from a wedding. In fact, these people are still even on their wedding dresses, right? And the man is saying, no, you have to do it. You are my wife. I married you with my money. I did this, I did that. I paid in full. I did not pay half. I'm not owing your in-laws and my in-laws. I'm not owing your family member. I paid everything in full. So you have to make the pounded yam for me, or you have to make this thing for me. That is my culture. That is my culture. Every night I eat pounded yam, so I cannot change it. You know, some stupid talk. And before you say, Jack, the woman is saying, sorry, I can't do it. And she's trying to, look for a way to sit down or lie down. The first she says, Jack, is beating. I mean, people that just got wedded, people that they just came out from the church and we say, oh, congratulations. And some people are already saying, oh, this beautiful couple, this. I wish I am them. Oh, I wish I was the one who got married to that young man. Oh, I wish I was the one. Oh, that guy is so humble. Oh, that guy is so cute. Oh, that guy is so this. But this is a woman who is supposed to be, having all of those things people are thinking, right? A man who is humble, a man who is nice, kind, and all that, but it was just a picture painted outside. The real man inside is the wicked one, put inside of, in humans. So the man had to then lay hands on his wife, all because she was not able to cook pounded yam the middle of the night. I have seen African men who chased their wives outside of the house, all because there was no meat in the food that the woman served them. There was no meat, so he chased the woman out to go and look for a way to buy meat and come and put inside his food. I mean, these are kind of people like my father. My father does not eat without meat. He cannot eat without meat, and he does not care if he was the one that brought money for the food or not. He will not even bring money for food, yet he demands to eat with meat. Who does that? And when my mother wants to talk, he's threatening her life. He's saying, I'm going to kill you. He is so hot-tempered that sometimes when my mother is trying to talk, he will carry that bowl of soup and empty it on her face. I don't understand what kind of wicked, humans are out there, and they look. See, if you see my father, I don't think you would ever believe that he has the ability to hurt a fly. He's so calm. When you see my father sitting here now, he's so calm. You'll be like, oh, this man, he's so calm, But believe me, when you have the opportunity of staying with him, that's when you know who he truly is. My father is so hot-tempered. I talked about it in the first video. He's so hot-tempered that he can throw anything at you, including breakable plates, bottle, anything at all. His phone, laptop, anything close to him, as long as he's angry, he just throws it at you, and he does not care where that thing is going. If it's going to your eyes, if it's going to your nose, if it's going to your forehead, it's going to your tummy, including knife, pots, he throws everything at you as long as he's angry. That is how he expresses his anger. So some African men are like that still. Some African men are like that. some even non-African men, some of them are also like that. So I don't understand why you should treat another human being with such dehumanization, with such wickedness and hatred, from the pit of hell. So nobody deserves, I stand for both men and women, nobody deserves such wicked treatment. Nobody at all. Machinwe is saying, because of the cloth is more valuable than the woman, why do people even marry? I don't understand. I've seen just like some wicked women will also take the same iron and hurt their housemaid. It's the same some men also do to their wives. When the way woman does any little mistake, they inflict pain and anger on that partner. So it's crazy. My husband said that man is wicked and quick tempered. Oh my God, I wish it is just quick tempered. It would have been too light. Is devilish, is demonic, is the wickedness. I don't know the word to use to qualify it. But how can you think of pouring hot water on another human, all because of anger? How can you think of pouring acid on another human, all because of anger? Have you seen people who pour acid on their partner because of anger, because of pain, because this person have just done too much? Yes, so Aisha Panded Yam, seriously, most men are like that. My husband say Panded Yam after wedding stress. The woman has entered one chance. She is married to a schoolmaster. That is just so true. Cosmos is here watching from Zambia. Oh, thank you so much, Cosmos, for watching. Champion is saying they should go for food processor to pan yam now. I be all food digest within 4 hours while stress yourself to pound. Oh, Sir Champion, do you even know that some men do not want the one that is being grinded by machine? They tell you that one that you pound with your hand gives them more nutrient and makes them feel natural. That those ones that machines have already processed is not nice, it's not okay. So that one that the woman had to use all her energy to heat is the real pounded yam. They tell you it's the real pounded yam. So all those semolina and all those ones you guys package is not the real thing. I've heard my father say it several times. There was one time I think one of the Christmas I witnessed in my house. There was one time, one of the Christmas, my father demanded to eat pounded yam on that Christmas morning. So my mother was like, "Oh, that she had been working because African women, if it's Christmas time, some of them had to buy a big basket of tomatoes, fresh tomatoes, cook the tomatoes, drain water from the tomatoes a day before the real Christmas, the next day of 25th. So she was like, "Oh, I'm tired. I have done a lot of things. I want to get semolina, to still make the same, or pando yam to make the same." So the difference is, in the way you make it. So you make it like you make semovita, right? But my father is like, "No, I bought tubers of yam, or I bought tubers of yam, go and pound it." She's like, "No, I don't have the strength to pound yam." And so the man's like, "No, don't go buy poundo yam. I cannot eat that one. I want that one pounded." So what would she do? What she then had to involve us. So we had to peel the yam, or we'll cook it, and we started pounding it. And eventually, even when we finished pounding it and gave him, he said, "No, you did not pound it well. You did not pound it well." I was like, hey, it was the energy I had. I used in pounding the one I was able to pound. He's like, "You children, this. All we got from that Christmas morning and pounding yam was insults." Tells you that you never always get to do anything well, right? So abuse has always been normal. So my dad abused us as children. He abused my mother. So it's just crazy. It's just so crazy. I don't understand why some men think that abuse is a way of telling the woman that I'm the head of the family and I own you, I control you. Whatever I ask you to do, you do to me. You do for me. So Some men think that the more they inflict pain on their partner, the more the partner tends to respect and honor them. So the partner gets terrified when he or she sees them. The person feels like, oh, the lord of the house is coming. So everybody is, staying well, everything is being, put together because somebody is coming, because the lord of the house is coming. But am I supposed to live in fear? There is no fear in love. Am I supposed to live in fear if you call me your wife? Am I supposed to be in fear? I don't understand. Did I leave my father's house to come and be bullied by you? Did I leave my father's house to come and be treated like a slave in your house? I don't understand. So some men are crazy. Some men need treatment. As long as I'm consigned, I'm saying and I'm saying it again. My father needs psychological treatment. Listen, if what I know today I'd known it before, I will sure look for a way to go put him in psychiatric hospital because he needs treatment. Because that's the way he acts. As long as I'm concerned, it's not human at all. It's dehumanization, and he needs to either face the law or go to check his head if it's not okay. My husband is saying the man shouldn't even have a choice of food on wedding night. They should both eat whatever is available. Some men will not do that. They will not do that at all. My gift is saying that is a real traditional man for you. Okay, see? Say Chinwe is saying, but that is punishment. That is real punishment, but they don't even see it as punishment. Most men don't see it as punishment. They tell you it is tradition and you have to do it. Okay. So my husband is saying the man should pound the yam himself. The man pound the yam himself. It's as if you want to leave the house then. My gift is saying that is after the wedding welcomes the marriage. That's true. Sir Adewale Richard, thank you so much for joining, sir. God bless you. So it's crazy. So have you seen scenarios where people pour acid on their spouse, or because the person did something really, really wrong to them? Okay, so I've seen scenarios where a wife had to set her husband's car ablaze, or because he was caught with another woman, or the man had to pour the wife acid, or because she was hanging out with another man. So there are a lot of ways you settle issues, not going that extreme to take somebody's life that you never gave them in the first place. That you pay a woman's dowry or bride price did not give you the right to take her life. You did not give her that life in the first place. The dowry you paid on her head does not equate her life. It's not worth her life. So you don't have the right to take the life that you never brought to earth. Even if it's your children, you never brought that child to this earth. That child is a life altogether. See, everything that is made up of that child, you don't have what it takes to buy a bit of it. So as long as you don't have anything it takes to buy a bit of a human life, including your children, you don't have the right to inflict pains on them, such that it's life-threatening, So it's crazy, and we need to speak up. We need to say no to all of this treatment. It is so wrong. My husband is saying that is not marriage, it is master-slave relationship. That is so true. It is master-slave relationship indeed. So we talked about different aspects now, and I told you guys that strangulation is a physical part of coercive relationship, coercive domestic abuse that is prevalent, that is happening everywhere all over the world. But the problem with strangulation is that strangulation can be really traced. It's difficult for one to trace the fact that somebody was really strangled to death, except if there's a strong proof of evidence, either by video or by more than an eyewitness. Okay, so something like that, with more of a video, you can claim the fact that this person actually strangled this person based on the video that was set on the camera that everybody is watching. So that is why we do everything possible to make sure that when abuse had gone into life-threatening, we do everything possible to report that issue to the nearest police station, or to the to the nearest friend or whoever around, just in case anything happens to you. Somebody could say, yes, she once reported of this act, of that act. So because there was already a pre-report about this, now we know how to prosecute this case, because there was already a pre-information about this. So whenever something like this happens to anybody out there, or any friend or whoever, they should be you should try to report this case to either of those armed people out there, so that they could help to save this woman, because she might be so afraid not to really say the truth. She might be so afraid not to say the truth. So we talked about acid attack and all that. So I want to read I want to show you some I want to talk about homicide. Mabingpe is saying, how much is the dowry that it can buy life? No, that is just it. It is usually distributed among the bride's relation. That is so true. So that is it. So when some men pay bride price, they feel like they've bought your life, so they can do anything they want to you. Okay, so it's crazy. So another part of physical or coercive abuse is what I call homicide. Homicide had to do with one individual taking another person's life, and this is it's rampant. According to study, in the United Kingdom, 37% of murder cases when it comes to women are usually it happened between intimate partners. I mean, 37% of murdered women were killed by an intimate partners, compared to 6% of men, just in the United Kingdom alone. So can you imagine? So 6% of men are killed in the United States, but 37% of women are killed only in the just only in the United States. Imagine if you put the whole nation, if you put the whole country, if you put the whole world together, women are just dying on daily basis because of domestic abuse. So it is crazy, and we need to talk about it. We need to say no to this, problem. So between 40 and 70% of women murdered in Canada, Australia, South Africa, Israel, and United States were killed by an intimate partner. So imagine, in South Africa, in Israel, in United Kingdom, Australia, Canada, 40 to 70% of women are being killed for God's sake, all because of domestic abuse, and somebody is telling me, no, that the man is hitting you, is nothing, it's just normal. Do you know that some African women have come to, agree that a man hitting a woman is a normal thing? Because it has been happening over the years, so it's a normal thing. Do you know that even till today, Nigeria does not have a law that backs, a woman being beaten? They are still pushing it. They are still trying to, delegate on it. They are still trying to make it a law. But Kenya recently has made it a law. Kenya has made it a law that whosoever does such evil to a woman will face the law. But Nigeria is they are still pushing it. That is how they keep pushing it. Why won't they push it? Why would they push? Do they even recognize? Do they even understand that life is involved? Do they even understand the benefits of human life? Do they know the worth of human life? If the president of Nigeria, Buhari himself, can stand on a national ground to say that women, that their place belong in the kitchen, how will he file? How will he push? How will he stand and say, let's domestic abuse be a no thing? So if he had already degraded and intimidated us and tell us that our place belongs, our place is in the kitchen. So if the president of a nation can open his mouth and say that the place of a woman is in the kitchen, then it's just that's to prove to you that he does not value women. He does not value women at all. So even if we are being beaten at home, if we are being degraded and intimidated and controlled and dealt with, and anything happen, he does not care as long as it has to do with the woman, right? The woman does not mean anything to them. The woman does not mean anything to them. And that is why when it comes to domestic abuse, it has the highest rates when it comes to the northern part of Nigeria. The northern part of Nigeria are crazy. I talked about it yesterday. I was saying how that the northern part of Nigeria have the highest rate of illiteracy. They have the highest rates of illiteracy, especially amongst their women, because the woman is not even allowed to go to school. She's not even allowed to see the four walls of education, because they believe that if the woman goes to school, she is being open to truths. So she has the ability to now stand in equal part or equal debate with her husband. So she now knows her rights. So she can say no to domestic abuse. She can say no to evil melted out on her, right? So the northerners will work so hard to make sure that their children don't go to school, especially the female child. That's why they do early marriage, just so that the Alhaji can always control that little girl. Because the little girl did not even go to school, and she does not even know what is right and what is wrong. So if the Alhaji want to perform an oral sex with her, whether she likes it or not, she will do it. If the Alhaji wants to perform an anal sex with her, whether she likes it or not, she accepts it. Why? Because she does not know. Information is not given to her. Knowledge is not given to her. She does not know the dangers of anal sex. She does not know the dangers of oral sex. She does not know anything because she was not allowed to go to school. She was not allowed to go to school. So the northerners will make sure that the girl child is not being exposed to British education. She's not being exposed to education, so that she does not have knowledge, so that she cannot fight for her rights. So it is crazy, and we need to say no to all of this evil. Whoever it is, whoever is being, involved, whoever is a victim, I don't care if they are Muslims, they are Christians, as long as they are humans, as long as they are human beings, they are created in the image and likeness of God. That is what I care about, and that is why I'm saying no to domestic abuse. So World Health Organization states that globally, about 38% of female homicide are committed by an intimate partner. Can you imagine? Can you imagine how terrible this has become? My gift blessing Amos saying, Nigeria that cannot keep account of anything. It will be worse. That's it. It will be worse. Excuse me. We don't have accountability. We don't have accountability. We can read that of the whites and developed countries to say, oh, at this percentage women are suffering this, at this percentage men are suffering this. But in Nigeria, we are not accountable. We don't have data. We are not good with data. So even if we have more percentage happening in Africa, we can't prove it, because we are not that data consigned. Our database level is very low. It's very low. But of course, I'm very sure it happens more in Africa than it happens in other developed countries. Because the developed countries, people have knowledge. People want to say no to wrongs, but the undeveloped countries, and where people are not exposed to truth and to education and to information, they are being intimidated, and at a time it becomes the norm. It becomes normal. So we've talked about strangulation. We've just talked about homicide. We've talked about acid attack. And now we want to talk about bride burning or dowry killing. This is so important. Have you seen that sometimes the bride, especially this happens in India. Now let me read the statistics for you. This happens in South Asia or India. Dowry violence is most common in South Asia, especially in India. In 2011, the National Crime Records Bureau reported that 8,618 dowry deaths in India. But unofficial figures estimated at least three times this amount. Now, what happens in India? In India, the women are the ones that pay dowry to the men, not the other way around. It happens in most African countries. In most African countries, is the man that pays the dowry, but in India, is the woman that pays the dowry for the man, right? So what's the problem? Sometimes the dowry that the parent of the girl paid to the man, to the parent of the man, are not were not enough. Okay, so what exactly happens at the end of the day? So some of these brides get into some of these newly wedded women are being they experience domestic violence because their parents could not pay proper dowry to this man. So dowry killing is a form of domestic violence in which a newly married woman is killed at her home by her husband or her husband's family due to the dissatisfaction over the dowry provided by her family. So because the dowry was not satisfactory enough, she gets to be killed by her own husband or her husband's family. Can you imagine nonsense? And do you know that in India, some men go as far as demanding for a new brand car? I mean, for a car, as dowry, as part of the dowry. So the woman's family has to provide him with a car as part of dowry. Are you crazy? So if she couldn't buy that car, or she couldn't pay completely for that car, maybe they paid half of the money of that car, right? Then she's been put under, she's been subjected under suffering, wickedness, abuse, because the man is feeling like the woman did not pay completely his dowry. So when stuff like that happen, the man tends to, assume that she is not worthy enough to be his bride. So he's going to melt out pain on this woman so that she will regret, ever agreeing to marry him if she know, or her family knew that they cannot pay his bride price. So this wickedness, for God's sake, is now normal. It's normal. Can you imagine nonsense? So I think it was this 2018, if I'm not mistaken, that Saudi Arabia, I don't know, I think it's Saudi Arabia, that just started allowing women to drive cars. Are you serious? Like, women just started driving cars in Saudi Arabia. I think it's Saudi Arabia, right? I don't know if I'm mistaken, but I think it's Saudi Arabia. That women just started driving cars. Just 2018, that they allowed women to start driving cars all by themselves because of this same mentality that a woman is not worthy enough to do some things all by herself. So, over how many years of the existence of Saudi Arabia, they just started allowing women to drive cars. And the same 2018, they just started allowing women to watch cinemas, to watch movies in cinemas. Are you serious? Are you serious? So women just started watching movies in cinemas, and they just started allowing them to drive cars, all because there's a group of people who believe that women are not up to the standard of a man, so she cannot be allowed to do what men are doing because she's not human enough. Are you serious? Yes, Mabikba is saying yes, Saudi Arabia. So can you imagine? So how can you say that a full-blown human being cannot drive a car because of your religious belief that a woman is not the head, that a woman is beneath, a woman is whatever? So you have to subject her to such wickedness. So when she has the ability and the resources to own a car, she cannot own a car because your law says that she cannot own a car, she cannot drive a car because she's a woman. But a man is allowed to drive a car. Isn't this wickedness already? Isn't this wickedness already? So I talked about yesterday how that some religion also do not also encourage women. So imagine if a national law is against the woman. What example are they setting to the man? It's telling the man to do whatever you want with the woman because she means nothing to the society. She means nothing to our country. So it means she means nothing to you too as the man. So if a national law can be that degrading, how much more can the home law, the law that abides in a home, where the man sees himself as the lord of the house, how much more in pain will the woman be going through? How much more pain will be caused by the man in the house? Because if the man sees that, society, with the culture where he comes from, does not recognize women, and they have been sounding it every now and then, why would the man, try to put her in a place where society is saying she does not belong? Why would the man accept that this woman is equal to me, or that this woman is my partner, or that this one is my friend, that we can deliberate, we can reason together, we can gist together, we can do things together, we can give ourselves advice. We are here to raise each other, we are here to back up each other, we are here to push each other, we are here to help ourselves. You're not here to be my slave. I'm not here to subject you into slavery. I dare not lay my hands on you because you are special. You are a special creation. I've been commanded of God to care for you. No, the man will not see it that way, because when he goes out, the laws he's seeing on the street are saying that women are nothing. And do you know, this kind of stupid cultures are the same kind of cultures that put women at home. They don't believe, like in the northern part of Nigeria, Aisha, I think Aisha is a Muslim. She could say that in the northern part of Nigeria, there's something that they call kule. They call kule. What does it mean? There's this belief that women are not allowed to go out or to be exposed to society or to people out there. So when the woman is when they marry that woman, that's a bride, they put her under cover or something. They try to make her not to move around, not to see people, not to see the outside world. Because the Muslim man believes that if the woman is allowed to see the outside world, she gets corrupt. So she gets corrupt such that she begins to flirt around with other men, or she will begin to know her rights. Because see, when people have the opportunity to walk and mingle out there, they begin to have the knowledge that, oh, this is right and this is wrong. Oh, this thing my husband is doing to me, it's not supposed to be doing it. Oh, this. So the truth begins to enter them by the time they have to interact with others, right? So the northern and the Muslim man is afraid that when he lets his wife to walk or to mingle with the other people out there, she is going to be exposed to knowledge and truths. So she will come back and begin to debate with him or challenge him, right? So they tend to make that woman not to walk, to stay at home and just take care of the house, cook, bathe the children, take care of the children. So most of those women, they have drivers that take them to the market, or sometimes they don't even allow them to go to the market. Sometimes it's the maid in the house that goes to the market, buy everything, come cook for the woman, and the driver had to go pick the children. So before you will see that woman's face, it will take her husband for another human, for another person outside that house to see the face of that bride. So it is called kule. So They believe that women are not supposed to be to allow to go out there. That is why you can barely see a woman in the bank, a northern, a Muslim woman in the bank working. You can barely see women in the northerners in educational firm teaching, women teaching. You can barely see them. So some of them that you are seeing now is either their own parents were exposed to truths and were exposed to education on time, so they were able to train those children. And when the man who come to marry them were coming, the father of the girl had to say, no, my daughter, I trained her in school, you have to allow her to do what she wants to do and all that. So it became agreement between the man who is coming to marry the woman and the family of the girl. So they say, I trained my daughter in university, or I trained her in college of education or whatever, so she is exposed and I want her to use that certificate to work and help her family. Or that she is marrying a man who is enlightened, who went to school, who knows the value of education. So such husbands will allow the wife to work. Such husbands will allow the northern woman to work. But on a normal day, a normal hajia is not allowed to work. She's not allowed to mingle or expose. So that is why when the man wants to hang around with his friends, what he does is that he takes his wife and kids, they get into that car, they drive straight to the friend's house that they want to visit. They get into that house. After that discussion, he gets his family, pagam, takes them back to the house, and is done. So you don't visit anybody without permission. So it's crazy. So imagine that woman will sit in that house, not being exposed to education, not being exposed to truth, not being exposed to knowledge. So she stays there, just wander about. She's either getting too fat, or either watching movies, or either she's just bored. But these are people that God made in his own image, who are filled with knowledge of how to transform, how to build technologies that will better the earth. They have passion in medicine, they have passion in engineering, they have passion in education, they have passion, but they cannot express it out because the husband cannot allow them do that. The husband cannot allow them do that. Hello, Masamara, thank you so much for joining. Hello, thank you so much for joining. Please, as you come in, help me share the video. Share, please, and help me invite your friends. Please help me share the video. Share it to groups, inbox to your friends. So it is crazy. Nobody has the right to lay hands on another human when they never brought life to this earth. Whether you're a man, whether you're a woman trying to lay hands to a man, or a man laying hands to, nobody has the right to do that, even though women are in the majority that are the victims here. Women are in the majority that are suffering emotionally. They are suffering in pain. Some women are actually enduring their marriage. They are not enjoying shit. They're not enjoying anything in that marriage. They are just there. Say, my sister, make we stay now. What you go do? We'll never marry. We are just bearing the name married woman. You're just there bearing the name married woman. If they say, all the married women come this side, you come out. Or the married men come this side, you come out. Why? Because you are married now, Shebi. So you just come out because, you are married. But are you enjoying that marriage? Story for the gods. You are not enjoying shit. You're not enjoying that marriage. You are under slavery. You are in pain. You are emotional pain. Some women are dying on daily basis out of emotional trauma, emotional pain, having to think about their husband coming back. It's like the man traveled for a week or 3 days, and the moment the man is saying, "Honey, I'm coming back," oh my God, it's like the man should remain. It's like the man should just remain there forever, because they know the pain, they know the trauma, they know the whole thing that's going to go on just within having to spend 2 days with the man in the house, or having to spend a week, or a month. What kind of a man are you? that you have to inflict pain on another woman, on a woman you called your bride, your wife. You don't have the right to do that. You don't have the right to do that. You don't have the right to call a woman, a slave, or to make her feel like a slave. Because you see, what is inside of that woman, what God has packaged in that woman, it is you who is holding her down. It is you who is holding her back. If you give her breathing space, you will see what she will become. You will see the gifts that she will express in just few years. If that woman is allowed to express herself in the passion, in the place where she finds passion, where her pain lies, where her love lies. See, before you say jack, before you know it, you are going to be amazed how much result that woman you see as a slave, that woman you're seeing as a slave today, you are going to be amazed how much impact she will make. You're going to be amazed how much she's expressing, what she's producing, what she's bringing, how much result she's producing, because you are the one subjecting her. The woman is saying, my love, there's something that is coming to my head. There's something I want to do. Oh, I have passion. There's a way I want to change. The way educational system in our country is not. I'm having the feeling that I have what it takes to make educational system in Nigeria to become educational system in Saudi Arabia, or educational system in this. Oh, I have passion in this. But you are doing what? You are saying, woman, sit down. You don't dare do anything. You sit down. You sit down. I brought you here to just take care of my children. Woman, take care of my home. Woman, take care of my house. And the woman is saying, but your house is in order. But your children are taken care of. But there is still something driving me. I have the feeling that there's something inside of me that I'm not doing. I don't want to die without doing this thing. It's a burden in my heart. It's a pain in my heart. I dream about it every now and then. I have a feeling that I came to this earth for a reason. I have a feeling that I came here for something, and I'm being hurt every day, having to live 24 hours like and achieving nothing, not even a pinch of that passion. I'm not doing anything, to exhibit that passion, to bring out that result. So that thing is burning my heart, and you're telling the woman, shut up your mouth. I provide everything you need. I go out there, I work my ass out, I provide for you, I pay the bills, I pay this, I provide food for you, I give you all that you want, I give you money, I give you food, I buy you the best house, I buy you the best cars, buy you silver and gold, I do you this, I do that, I take you shopping, I take you this, I do this. What else are you looking for, woman? What else are you looking for? You are not contented. You're an ingrate. And the woman is saying, see, sweetheart, I appreciate everything, but I'm dying. My heart cannot let me. I'm dying. Why can't you listen to the cry of my heart? Do you know what you're doing to that woman? You are emotionally abusing her. She's dying of a truth. She is dying. There's something that is dying inside of her on a daily basis, because you don't want to listen to her, because you don't want to allow her. If she wants to take a step, you will tell her that she's a rebel, she's disobeying you. You will start looking for a way to hit her. Do you know that some women have, they've talked to their husband severally, and the man is not helping, their pain, their passion, the anger, the thing that is boiling inside their heart. Some women say, okay, if you don't want to listen to me, I will go ahead and do it, with or without your consent. Some women had gone ahead, had gone out of the way and do it. Do you know what they get? The man stripped them off all their rights. The man stripped them off their financial assistance, stripped them off friends and family. Do you know that some women that cannot say hello to their parents, they don't even know if their parents still exist, or because the husband makes sure that does not happen. He had tracked all her devices and blocked everything that she had to do with her family members. the man had put her away from all her friends. Because the man is thinking, oh, is those your friends that are giving you the wrong advice? Are those your friends that are doing you, that I'm telling you when I'm talking, you talk? Those are your friends that are influencing you. They are making you a bad wife. When I got married to you, you are not like this. Now, how come, you are becoming rebellious? How come you're becoming this? How come you're becoming that? So it's your parents. Your parents are the ones telling you to what to do in my house. Your parents are the ones telling you to, okay, so you will never see them again. You will never have to speak with them again. And the man disconnects the woman from her family, all because the man was thinking that it's the parents who were telling her, do this, do that. So the man not only does that, he also stripped her of her financial assistant. One, you did not allow her to work. You did not allow her to go out and look for a job to do, right? You kept her in the house and say, you are the provider. You provided everything. You want to do everything. No problem. She even agreed. And now she's saying, no, I want to carry out my passion. And you are saying, because you are going against my orders, I will strip you of every financial benefit you get from me. And the man is giving her nothing. And she is suffering. And she cannot talk to nobody. Because she cannot talk to her parents. She can no longer, get to her parents. No friend, no nothing. She is dying. She is dying slowly. She is dying slowly. Man, let me ask you, did you marry this woman all the way from wherever you got her from, or to kill her by yourself? Are you not a murderer? You are an emotional murderer. And if she dies physically, you are a bloody murderer. You are wicked. You are devilish. That culture said it does not mean that culture is right. Everything that culture have once said and people have come to know that is not true does not mean that culture is the right one. Can't we unlearn that culture and learn something right? My husband is saying that is why it's important that you know who you are getting yourself, what you are getting yourself into before you say yes, I do. That is it. Manansi is saying that is the reason I speak about women discovering who she is before taking the vow. That's so true. Ma Chinwe is saying power-driven, egocentric, authoritative culture. My husband is saying women are full of potentials, but for most men, marriage is the grave that swallows all their potentials. That's so true. Machinwe and my husband. Machinwe is saying relationship don't die natural deaths. People murder it. Oh my goodness. Wow. This is bomb. This is explosive. I want to read it again. Relationships don't die natural deaths. People murder it. My God. This is the height of abuse that people have subject their partners to. And they call it love. Some people even have defined it to be tough love. Some people have defined that evil act to be tough love. It's because I love you so much that I'm doing this for you. It's for your own good. Are you serious? Wickedness of the highest order. And you call it which tough love? Which tough love? What is tough about that stupid love? Emotional pain. Emotional pain. Some women, because of this, they have been deprived of sleep. They cannot even sleep. They cannot even sleep. The man has stripped her of her natural sweet sleep. The sleep that is supposed to come normal is no longer coming. I remember several times my mother would say that I can't sleep. I asked her, why can't you sleep? She said, I don't know. I know why she can't sleep. After the time we worked so hard to make sure she no longer sleeps with my father. When she started sleeping with us, you know what happened? She can't sleep. She can't sleep. Sometimes I will wake up and see her eyes are still open. I will ask her, what are you still doing awake? She says she can't sleep. Why can't you sleep? Emotional trauma. Emotional trauma. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You know, when I was growing up as a child, I so much hated my father. Oh, Jesus. You know, I thank God for my husband. I just thank God for my husband, because my husband helped me to start liking my father, to start accepting my father. You know, I so much hated that man. I so much hated that man because he caused us pain. He caused us pain. It is better experience than being told. You know, some people will say, she's just telling a story, or she's just trying to lie just so that she can get attention, or just so that people could listen to her, or just so that she can get somebody hear her, or what, so that she can get followers, or just so that, what does the follower, if I have 1 million people on Facebook following me, is it $1 million I have in my account? Does it put any money in my account? It doesn't, right? So if I tell you some, if I say a truth, if I'm trying to tell a story that happened to me, it's not something for a joke. It's not something you should start saying, oh, this person, you're just trying to form stories. You know, it's just, it got to a point in my life that I feel like taking my father's life. Can I tell you the truth? Yeah, that's how it got. That's the extent where it got to. Sometimes I would see my father sleeping and nobody is around. And you know what happens? A voice will be telling me, do this to him. Go get a knife and stab him. Go get a knife, kill him. The moment you do it now, you will never ever have to worry about the pain he's inflicting on you people. The pain is inflicting on your mother. The voice keeps telling me, do it. I watch my father, as a child, I watch my father like this, sleeping and snoring, and I'll go outside. Nobody is in the house. Nobody's outside, nobody's inside. I'm just there watching my father sleep, and that voice is telling me, kill him. Go to the kitchen, get a knife and stab him. The moment you stab him on his chest or his tummy, he will die. He will not be able to wake up again. You know, they will have to bury him, and you and your parent, you and your mother will live happily afterwards. But I couldn't. I was afraid. I say, I don't know, I can't do it. I kept rejecting the voice. I said, I can't do it. If my father had the opportunity to see our hearts, he would have seen how many times suicidal thoughts of killing him had come to our hearts as children. He will see how many times. I might not be old, because children, you don't share with there are things you don't share with your brothers and sisters, right? I am sure I was not the only one thinking like that in my house. I'm sure my sisters as well and my brother would have as well one time also thought about something like that, but they couldn't. Out of fear, they couldn't as well do it. But there are some children that have taken their parents' life, they have taken their father's life, all because of this kind of thing, of this kind of issue. My father is so wicked. I don't understand the kind of creation, the kind of God that created him. And that was why I said to myself, if this is what marriage is all about, if this is what love is all about, if this is what husband is all about, I would not marry. It took me time of emotional struggle. And it took my husband some work for me to actually get married. For me to see, I'm married today. It's by God's grace that I had to accept a man to marry me after all I went through. I say, if this thing is marriage, this thing is called marriage, God forbid, I better go to Catholic church, become a nun, become a sister, buy this, get the sister, go into that sister whatever, even though I had no passion in it, even though I don't know what is all about, just so that I don't get married to any man, just so that I don't get subjected to this kind of pain that I'm seeing in my own house, that I'm seeing in my father. Is this normal? I've asked my mother several times, is this marriage? Is this normal? You know, in tears, she will say to us that may a man that is like her husband never meet us. I used to ask fathers, what kind of prayer will your wife pray for her children? Will your wife look at you and look at your children and say, I pray God to give you people the kind of your daddy as a husband. I pray God that God should give you the kind of my husband as your wife. What kind of prayer will your wife do in your presence or absence to her children? I mean, my mother will practically say to us, I pray that a man like my husband never ever meets you people as husbands. This is a prayer from the heart of a mother, from the heart of a woman out of pain. Oh my goodness. Domestic violence and abuse was the talk of the day in my house. In my house. My sister is suffering an eye problem today because of my father. Because the moment he gets upset, make sure you're not close to him. If you don't get a slap, you will get something. Something must land on your body. Day before yesterday, when I was doing the part 1 of this video, I was saying that my father, there was a time I was angry at my father. I was telling him how that he did something wrong, to my mother, and my mother was crying outside or something. So I came to him. I was telling him that what he did is wrong, and I was trying to explain to him. Do you know what he did? He looked for a burning firewood. I mean, firewood with flames. He threw a burning firewood at me, and I was so smart enough to bend down that firewood never cut my clothes. I would have been damaged physical wise. I don't know if my face would have been burnt or part of my body would have been burnt to ashes, or would have been burnt or have scars, all because of anger. This is a man who can take his laptop, who can take laptop and stone you, who can take you can take bottle and stone you. As in, what kind of anger? What kind of human is this? And I'm so grateful to God that I never inherited such anger from him. That's why I don't like to stay around where people are fighting or quarreling, because I know what it takes. I run for my life, because when people are fighting and have to do with sharp objects, I know where I'm coming from. I know I've experienced something like that. So if you are talking to my father, make sure you are closer to the door. If you are talking to my father or trying to tell him one thing he did wrong, or trying to, tell him your heart, or trying to be angry at him, or trying to, just stay close to the door. Because the moment you are telling him, he will just be doing like this. That thing he's doing, he's looking for something to stone you. He's looking for something to throw at you. And a woman could proudly say, while praying, whether praying or not praying, she could say, that, like, may somebody like my husband, may somebody like your father never meet you people. Wow. That is for you to see how terrible, how miserable life has become for her. How wicked, what kind of human will somebody ever pray that her children will never meet in life as partners? That's the kind of my father. Oh my goodness. So domestic violence, domestic abuse was the norm. Several times she complained to her parents. She complained, to my father's people. Yeah, story for the gods. Nobody was listening. Woman, you made your choice. Woman, it is your home. The Bible says a wise woman built her home, right? Yeah. The foolish one destroys it. That's the story. That's the trash you keep hearing. So you have to stay, bear with him. Oh, manage, do the thing he says. I was telling you guys yesterday in the first video, I said my mother will go through beating and several beating and abuse. She'll still be the one to cook. Oh my God, she'll still be the one to cook his best food with some cola nuts and some, traditional stuffs with some wine, to come and appease my father, like appeasing the gods. She would kneel down, serve him his best food with cola nuts, with this local alcohol, in order for her to in order for the man to forgive her, even though she's the one that deserves to be forgiven, even though she's the one that deserves the apology. But what happens? She is the one who goes to say, I'm sorry. She's the one who goes to say, I'm sorry. Humans. And so that's why when I talk about relationship, before, asking some relevant questions and really getting to know who you want to marry, I say it with passion, but some people don't understand. They say, what do you know? You are just married, just 1 year of marriage. Oh, just 2 months of marriage. Oh, just 6 months of marriage. What does she know to? What does she have to offer? I don't know everything, no. But I know where I'm coming from and the kind of humans that exist on earth. Some that can make life hell for you. Some that can make life, marriage, miserable for you. I know there are so many people, there are some people that are enjoying their marriage. It's as if Jesus should not come again. Death should not come. Trumpet should not sound. Nothing should happen. Their marriage is heaven on earth. But see, a lot of people are not having that same glorious and beautiful marriage. When you have the opportunity to have such, please cherish it with all you have, because most women are dying. That is why this kind of domestic abuse make these women to fall ill on time, to start having problems. As I speak to you, my mother is having lot of challenges health-wise, all because of the things she went through. There was a time my father slapped my mother. She couldn't see for days. She couldn't see with her eyes for days. Jesus. It was when we got to our teenage age that we stood for our mother. We stood and we began to defend her. We began to say no to what my father was doing to her. We began to say, no, you can't do that again. So when my father stands and wants to hit her, we either hold his hand or we push him away, or we take my mother out, or we stand between the gap and we say, you don't dare. You don't dare. We threaten him. We say, if you dare lay your hands on her again, we're going to beat you blue black. We're going to teach you a lesson that children does to their parents. So we threaten him. So the abuse began to reduce. Just because we became teenagers, we began to understand life. We began to understand that, wait, this thing this man is doing to this woman, one day she will collapse. One day she's going to die in our presence. So it is high time we all stand up and begin to defend her now that the time is still early. Imagine if something happens to this woman, this man is going to go look for another bride. He's going to go look for another phone out there. And we are going to be the ones to suffer. So if we don't defend her life, she will lose it. So we all stood and began to defend her. So we don't care about children, obey your father, obey your parent. We discarded that part of the Bible, and we were violent. We began to, defend my mother. Wickedness in the heart of men. Wickedness. So when I talk about relationship, I talk about marriage, I say it with passion because I know where I'm coming from. I know where I'm coming from. So some men go as far as forcing their partners into drugs, into alcoholism. They force them. You know, if not that my mother, later she gave her life to Christ. You know, my father was going to introduce her into drinking. But she doesn't believe in alcohol. She does not believe in hard drugs and all that. So my father is drinking alcohol, she does not partake. And so when he wanted to force her into it, she refused, and she stood her ground never to. But some partners, I know there are some people today that their partners have subjected them into hard drugs, you know, made life hell for them. They weren't into drugs before, they weren't into alcoholism before, but their partner had, you know, forced them into it. It's like, if you want to maintain this marriage, anything I like, you don't dislike what I like. So for us to be together, for this marriage to work, anything I like, you must like it. You must like it. So she's going about drinking. Now, drinking has become her habit, but this is a decent woman, a decent lady who is psychologically sound, who knew what she wanted in life, but because of domestic abuse and violence, her husband has subjected her into drugs and alcoholism. Now she is now an addict. She's now an addict. She no longer thinks straight. She no longer reasons straight. The little money that comes to the house, the first thing she wants to do is to do drugs, is to look for a way to drink. She no longer cares about her children because she no longer thinks straight. You have ruined her life. You have ruined everything that had to do with that awesome woman. You have ruined her life, for God's sake. You have killed her because you believe that whatever you want, she does for you. You have killed her. You have introduced her into gambling. She wasn't like that before, but now she's a gambler. In fact, she even gambles more than you who introduced her. Because there's a saying that when you teach a woman something, she has the ability to overtake you in that thing. Because they learn quite fast. You know? So this woman was given to you for you to care for you to cultivate, for you to nurture, for you to love, for you to, show kindness, for you to, for her to be your pride, for you to, exalt. You are supposed to place this woman in a place where God has put her. You're supposed to care for her. You're supposed to, just like God cares for you. Do you know how many accidents God has averted for you, man? Do you know how many accidents? Do you know how many poisons God has averted for you? Just like God was busy nurturing you, trying to care for you, trying to protect you, that's the same way God put you in the place of that woman, so you could do the same for her, so you could protect her, so you could provide for her, so you could be her shield, so you could be her spokesman, so you could, be her love, so you could show her that love that God had commanded of you, that care that God has commanded of you, so she could be your glory. So you could look back and say, that is my wife. So you could look back. So and one thing you should know is that no matter what you have done for her, no matter what you're doing for her, do not ever take glory. Do not ever think that because I did this for you, you owe me your life. No. See, your wife is like the first neighbor that God has given to you, right? So doing good to all men. The Bible said, do good to all men, especially those in the household of faith, right? So doing good to all men, the first man that you see is your family, right? Is your household. So you do all the good and make sure that your heart is open, because this same person you're doing good to will might betray you tomorrow, might do something hurting to you. Don't think that, oh, because I do all the beautiful things for her, she has no ability to hurt me. She can offend you, she can hurt you, she can make you go mad. She can see, it's human nature, right? So open your hearts to know that I am just doing this good because God has commanded me to do nothing but to love. God has commanded me to do nothing but to care, to cultivate this woman, to take care of. So it's like God giving you a property. God gave you a pen. When you like, for example, you went to visit God in heaven, and you finish gisting with God, and you were leaving, and God say, hey, my son, wait before you go. Take this gift I give to you. Take care of this gift. Never misuse this gift. So God gave you the gift. So just like God gave you that gift, you are supposed to do as he commanded. What do you do? So you do as God has told you, right? So, but also know that this woman was a gift to you by God. Was a gift to you by God. So you are supposed to take care of her, take good care of this woman, and let heaven bear you witness, because you did as you have been commanded, because your reward is in heaven. You have a reward for obedience. You have a reward for obeying the mind of God, the will of God. He told you to take care of it. You did. That is obedience. So there's a reward that comes with obedience. So do not see your partner as, one that, woman, go and take care of yourself. Look for a way to take care of yourself. I'm not here to take care of you. No. As much as you want to care, you want to show love to every other person outside there, you shouldn't be a hypocrite to do it out there and not do it in your house. Your house is the first example. So from the love that exudes from your home is what that will touch others, is what that will reach out to others. It's not the other way around. It's not like you show love to people out there, but your home is in hell. So be open-minded to know that this person, this woman, I'm loving, I'm doing all the good things, I'm working hard to take care of, I'm cultivating, I'm doing all the good for. Know that she is going to offend you. So when the offense comes, just know, because your heart has been open for that offense, you will not go brutal. You will not go, you not get so furious that you would want to inflict pain on her. Somebody told me something yesterday while I was gisting with her. She said to me that, if for example, a man is giving me so much knowledge and all that, and he has a lot of followers, people are being blessed by him. Let's say, for example, he did something wrong. The woman told me that, I don't care that wrong he did. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tell him, please dust yourself and let's go. Let's go. Tell me more what God has told you. Why? Because I'm more interested in what God is telling you than what the wrong that you have done. The wrong that you have done is between you and God, but that's you carry. I'm more interested in it. You understand? So if we have this kind of understanding, that is what will make a spouse not to pour acid on his partner or on her partner, thinking that you did me evil. Or have you seen where people set their spouses ablaze because he or she was caught in adultery, or he or she cheated on her or him? So because this person betrayed the relationship or betrayed you, you go as far as burning them alive. You go as far as poisoning them to death. You go as far as pouring them acid. Come on. If that, I said earlier on, if God will pour us acid for every mistake we do, I don't think there's any part of our body that will remain clean. There's no part of our bodies that will be worth beholding. So no woman, no human, nobody deserves to be abused. Nobody deserves domestic violence. Nobody, not even a man, not a woman. Nobody deserves it. As much as God have mercy on all of us. God is so loving to overlook our wrongs and our evil deeds and our evil doings. Do you know what? Your partner deserves the same mercy. You know what? One of the things my mother struggled so hard to do is to make sure that we understand God, that we have relationship with God. And she keeps telling us, do not marry a man who does not know God. Do not marry a man who does not have the fear of God. She's so particular, because my father does not have a relationship with God. My father does not know God. So my father does not really value going to church and listening to the word of God and all that. So she was having the feeling that if Adibi, my father, is very good in maybe attending church services and, you know, being close to God, seeking God's face and all of that. So if my father has that kind of mindset or that kind of feeling, that she would not have gone through what she went through. So she believes that a man who has the fear of God cannot do this wickedness, this level of wickedness to her. So that's why she will always say, I don't care if the man is from whatever country or from whatever state. I don't care. What I care most is that the man has the fear of God, is that the man is a Christian, is that the man is a believer. I don't care if he has all the wealth on earth or if he doesn't have. I care more about the fact that he is a believer, because her heart cries out for her children. She's afraid that if her children does not marry, they don't marry a man who has the fear of God, they will be likely to go through the same thing she went through in her relationship. So she's afraid, and she wants to be sure that you understand God, that you know God, that you have the fear of God, because she knows that a man who has the fear of God will not harm his spouse, will not hurt his spouse. So when I met my husband, and some people were like, no, that guy this, that guy that, no, he's not, he's not handsome, okay, you know. But some of my sisters will say, that guy is not handsome, that guy, there's some touche guys, you know, some ladies are very funny, you know, some touche, fine, handsome, cute guys. I'll just laugh at them, because you know what? There are some touche, handsome, sexy guys that will make life more than miserable for you than the one your father put your mother into already. He's touche, looking cute with suits, right? Wait until reality sets in. You'll be welcome into reality.com.org. So I wasn't looking for hashtag cute, suited, young. I was looking for truth. I was looking for a man who understands God. Somebody's laughing already. You know, some girls can be funny when it comes to choosing life partners. They'll say, no, I don't like the way he dressed. Oh no, I don't like the way he talks. Oh, I don't like the way. They keep looking for one thing or the other. That is how some men who are going to dress like the man you have been investigating to have, right? They will deceive you, because they already find out that the kind of man you want is just the outward man. So they make sure they get your attention. When they get you, then they put that ring in your hand and they disappear with you, because some men can marry you and fly you to another country. You can't get in touch with your parents, but you are living in hell. Have you seen scenarios where some men married a woman, paid bride price, did party, everything, then so took the woman to another country or another place, make sure he disconnect everything that had to do with herself and her parents, so she cannot reach anybody anymore. So what the man did, the man made sure she prostitutes. So all the money the man ever paid for her dowry and all the party, all the dime he spent, she was doing prostitution to pay back. So you never knew that man was a drug addict, he was a gambler, he was a thief, he was an armed robber. You didn't know. You saw a guy looking cute, touche, you know, having to carry briefcase and telling you he work in oil company, he work in blah blah blah, and you were swinged in because you were not wise enough. Your heart already went for the wrong things that makes up a marriage. You don't even understand the real thing that makes up a marriage. So you think it's just the outward man, that because he looks calm outside or he looks properly dressed, so he's a husband material. Then welcome to reality. Some women are suffering their marriage today. Their parents cannot contact them. In-laws cannot. Nobody can contact them. I know of a story. Back then when I was in Nigeria, there's this our family friend who told us, that time we were quite small, but he was telling us when I've grown up, he was telling us that there's this lady, then the woman used to be in their prayer squad. So he said to me that there was a time she was going to get married. So prophecies came and they said to the woman that this man you're about to get married to, he has a questionable character. Go and ask the man, what does he do for a living? She went and said, the man, what do you do for a living? Man said, he's an importer and exporter. They asked the man, what do you import and export? She said, I import building materials and all that. So, but there was a signal. Her parents were God was revealing things to the girlfriend that something is wrong, that man is into a questionable something. He was into a dubious stuff. But the girl was blinded with the fact that the man had a lot of money. The young boy had a lot of money. So what happened? The church prayer squad were seeing the same. The pastor was saying the same. Everybody was saying there's something wrong. The girl said, I don't care what people are saying. I love this guy. He loved me. We love ourselves. Okay, what happened? They got married. Congratulations. Happy married life. Do you know what happened? 1 week after marriage, nobody could contact the girl. They tried her number, tried the husband's number, nobody could contact them. They went to the house where the man used to live. They said the person who was living in this house has moved out. The house where he said, okay, this is the place where me and my bride will be going. This is the place where we'll be living. They went there, they said, nobody like that lived here. That this is not this person's house. The person you described or the name you called or the picture you showed has nothing. As until today, they cannot trace the bride. Nobody knows her whereabouts. Nobody knows if she's dead or alive. The man disconnected everything that had to do with her and her family. So, and we got to know, he was telling me that they got to know that the man was a cultist, was a strong cultist. All right. So, but nobody knows what he has done with the girl or where the girl is. Nobody knows. And they can't trace, because the people he brought for the wedding were all borrowed. It's like going on the street and seeing an old man and saying, "Oh, will you come and claim to be my father?" And and all that. He bribed people to come and be, his uncle, father-in-law, this, that. He gathered people and paid them some amount of money. And all of them came to bear witness that this is my son, this is my son, this is my brother, this is my colleague, this is my blah, blah, blah. Oh, my. They traced this guy to the village. Nobody know anything about that guy. He does not exist as long as they were concerned. And that was how the girl vanished into thin air. That is how the heart of man can be wicked, can be desperately wicked. Oh, because what some women, are looking for in marriage. So, terrible things are happening on a daily basis, and that is why we need to be wise, and that's why we need to be informed, and that's why we need very sound information and knowledge, and of course, the discernment of God, in order for us to know what we're getting ourselves into, for us to know, where we are going, who we are saying yes to, who we're about to live our lives with. So today we talked about a type of domestic abuse that is called a coercive abuse, that has to do with a physical abuse, and in such physical abuse there's intimidation, there's degradation, there is pain, and all that, infliction of pain, physical pain, and all that. So it's just crazy how that these things are happening day by day. If you go to Africa right now as I speak to you, in my country, Nigeria, in just 1 hour. Stay close to a neighbor. Make sure it's make sure it's a village, because those who staying upstairs and all that, it will be happening, but you might not hear because it's an estate. The distance from one person's house to another might be a little bit, so you don't get to know what is really happening in the other person's house. But if it's a village where face me, I face you house kind of, you will see brutality melted out to women. A man will be hitting a woman on a broad daylight, and the only thing is somebody will say, you don't do now, it's okay now, God, don't do this, okay, it's not good now, God. Instead of him to be prosecuted, instead of him to be dealt with, instead of him to be charged to court, instead of him to be taken to the police station, you know, they only tell him it's okay now, it's okay. But that it's okay, it's not okay, because he does it every day. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's not like he just started it though. It's not like he just did it today. He's going to do it tomorrow. He has been doing it. Some men even hit their women while pregnant. A pregnant woman will be beaten blue black by a man. You don't have the fear of God. God, you are a dog. God, do you deserve mercy yourself? If God look at you and look at all the times you have wronged him, all the times you have broken his heart, do you deserve mercy? Do you deserve God's mercy? If you cannot forgive your wife, if you cannot forgive your children, do you deserve God's forgiveness? If God could hit you for every single time you err, if God should hit you as you hit your wife, do you think there's any part of your body that will be left unbruised? Do you think there's any part of your body that will still be clean? You don't have the fear of God. You beat a pregnant woman with an unborn baby. Africans do it a lot. And some women have accepted this thing. They say, yes, he beats me, it's true. He beats me, but you know, he still loves me. Hey, he loves me, he loves me. Now my husband, no, now my husband, not do anything. Now my husband, no, now my girl, police. Even if somebody goes to call police on that man, you say, police, leave us on a family matter, leave it to his family issue. We'll settle it, now love. Woman, open your mind, open your brain, open your eyes. It is not love. The man has brainwashed you to think that hitting you is love. It's not love. That is not love. That is not chastisement. If God chastises us like that, woo, then something will be wrong, definitely wrong with all of us. We will not be able to see the light of the day. We will not be able to see the next day. If all the time we err, he chastises us in 24 hours every day, I don't think you and I would have been among the living now. Oh, Master, I say, they will say, continue praying. That is it. So imagine Apostle Suleiman that time. There was a video. He was settling a man and a woman who had an issue. But you know what? The whole blame was on the woman. The woman wanted to explain what happened. He said, shut up. Shut up. You want to ruin your home. You want to ruin your family. You don't even want to hear the side of the woman. So it's the woman that has the problem. The woman is always the one that has the problem. So when women go to their pastors and say, Pastor, see what is happening to me, see what my husband is doing to me, the man still push the blame to her. Woman, pray hard, pray. You know, put some dangerous seed. Some of the scammers, some of the wicked ones will tell you, put some seed. Let this seed seal your marriage. Let this seed tie your husband's heart against every wickedness, and let him blindfold his eyes from other women. It will not work. It will work. It will take that man. It will take the man by himself to say no to every other woman out there, to every other temptation out there, and say no. I made a vow. and I made a vow, and there was somebody who was in that vow that I respect the most, and that person is God. Heaven was there when I made the vow, and that is who I care about. For the sake of heaven, I will not break my vow. For the sake of heaven, I will not do this. Not because of the people around the marriage or the wedding day cheering you up, or her parents or whoever, but the sake, not even for the sake of the woman, but the sake of heaven. They tell you prayer is the key. God will help us. It is terrible. Domestic abuse is real. Domestic abuse is happening on daily basis. People are dying all over the world on daily basis, all because of domestic abuse. So women have got into a relationship and they say, I'm no longer interested. I want to leave the marriage. And the guy stabbed her to death. You dare not leave the marriage. You dare not leave this relationship. How dare you? I tell you when to leave. I decide when to leave. I decide who leaves and when. You don't make decision. In this relationship, you don't make decision. You are a slave. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so happy. I'm so grateful. I hope tomorrow we'll talk about another aspect of domestic violence. And I believe tomorrow is going to be another awesome day, another blessings. I'm so happy. I had a lot of super great comments. I appreciate everyone's comment. I appreciate everyone that came, all your shares, everything. I appreciate. Please, if you have not subscribed my YouTube channel, please check Topsy Gifts on YouTube. You see my logo is my picture. You not see this my face. You see my logo, Topsy Gifts. So subscribe on my YouTube channel. There are great teachings on YouTube about children, you know, about a lot of topics that you will be blessed, you know, to have. One of my uncle called me yesterday from Nigeria, and anytime he watched my video, he's like, wow, thank you so much. He's so happy. I mean, he said he's so blessed because he finds joy in listening to me. This is my distance uncle. You know, but he's blessed. You know, he said he goes to my YouTube channel, he watches my videos, and he's blessed. He's so proud of me. I say I'm proud of God himself. So if you have time, just check my YouTube channel and watch as much videos as possible. I had one of my life, I shared one of my life experience growing up as a child, what I went through, the lessons I learned, and all, how that the healing process is happening in my life and all that. So subscribe, don't forget to subscribe. So I appreciate all your comments, all your love, all your likes, everything. I appreciate your presence, having to come here to, you know, share minds with me, share your thoughts, share your view. I really appreciate. I so much, you know, appreciate everything. I'm so grateful to have you here. You know, we share minds together. God bless you all. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. So thank you so much. Just please keep sharing this video. I believe it's going to be a blessing to, you know, as many that are going to watch this video, be it a man or a woman. It could be one of the gifts that you give to somebody. Somebody could just watch this video and say to himself, exactly, how did I become like this? I was not like this before. Where did I go wrong? Where did I get it wrong? And begins to retrace his step. Okay, so it could be something saving to somebody. So I'm not making money from the video, right? So it's not like the more you share, the more money that gets to me. It's just a burden in my heart, you know, to share my story, to share experience with people, so people will know that, see, when we talk about violence is for real and it's not a good thing. God did not welcome it. God did not ask anybody to abuse another. So just keep sharing this video, and I believe a lot of people are going to be blessed that they watched. And thank you so much once again for your presence. I remain your friend, TOPS word, Topsy. Thank you guys. So see you tomorrow or whenever I have chance to come live again. So guys, bye.